Hello, everyone, all of our viewers and nice people out there. Welcome to Epic Boon Storms over Cerenar. We are at Session 7, so we've been going for 14 weeks already of our actual play campaign Storms over Cerenar. And this episode is called... what did I call it again, actually? It escapes me. It is called Breaker of Chains, as we meet our heroes in a very interesting position. And before we go to all of that, I just want to say hello. My name is Roar, and from the quaint, nice place of Scandinavia, I am your dungeon master for tonight. And with me, I have all of the reluctant ding-dongs that I always have with me. Hello, people, nice players.
Hello, ding-dongs.
Hello, ding-dongs.
I'm very happy to be here with all of you guys to get a break from the real world and go into a nice game of Dungeons and Dragons with you guys and figure out how we emancipate a lot of people here. And actually, I know that Bjorn, Jonas, you have prepared a little recap of our story so far. Is that correct?
Yes.
Well,
it's gonna be perfect. So hello guys, I'm Jonas, and I play Bjørn, a barbarian from the north. Music, thoughtful music. This is kind of a small prayer that Bjørn is speaking in his mind. We find Bjørn in times of trouble. So this is this small monologue is what is going through him right now. It has been weeks since I saw the coast of the lands of cold, and even longer since I talked to you, old protector, Grim Tyrson. So many things has happened. My skjald that have brought my stories alive have followed me to this hill of sand. My vision led us to an excavation ancient, and to the people I am meant to protect. Beneath the sand, Aust found a blessing of the gods. I knew it when I saw it. A blade made to bring glory. Though his motives still allure me, his arrogance meet my expectation in his skill of warfare. That he showed in the oasis when the Scorpion people tried to enslave the locals, and he sprang through the air to the midst of the fight. Cable people is surely in my party, and on them I must rely. The thief and the mage still have many tricks. I don't doubt their courage, but their allegiance is still a mystery. After the fight on the slaver's boat, Nuncle talked out of fear of the tranquil pillar. Wise, but fear must not cloud a man's mind. Until I hope instead that his brilliance will rule. I talk to you now, old ruler of the North, because I am out of counsel. The only friend I have, the bard, my skjald, fears is in trouble. Trouble of the mind, manifested in a girl found in our new conquered ship. I don't know the origin of its trouble, and I have a hard time to ask. Help me, old conqueror of the North. Myself, I am so sorry. I have brought dishonor upon myself and upon my line. I am out of counsel. Please help me. I am honorless. So that was my recap. I think maybe the players will understand it more than if there are any new viewers. But this is also what's going through Bjørn. That's how I wrote it. So maybe it just gives a bit of flavor.
I think,
and we love that flavor.
Beautiful. Very much so.
Thank
that
you.
is also where we find all of you in this river canyon on the nameless slaver's boat, where you all have just gone to bed, and While you nestle yourself in different places of the ship, you can smell the burnt, darkened smell of the deck singed by fireballs above you. You can hear the quiet noises of the river beneath the anchored ship. And many of you might have thoughts such as Bjorn's, doubts, maybe even hopes in some regards. And you have found out a few things. I will actually go back to the Cerenar. You have found out a few things, just to recap the information that you have gathered over the last few sessions. As you have traveled to the Kalar Sand Sea, found out that the Tlinkali Scorpion people have been conducting raids on the nomads and the people living in the desert and captured them. And they have been taken to a small mountain settlement, Tlinkali High, the southern part of the Maggot Range. There, the adults are kept. The children have been packed on boats and sent towards Staunchflow. Theus found out that they were intended for some kind of dark ritual, the details of which I have no idea. Then another old face also approached you. Saldin, Safis's old mentor, friend, told him that his little sister had been captured in the capital of Rathajar, splitting the attention of the party to the west and to the east. You have freed the slavers' boat, the river barge, of their original captors. But now you need to make a choice, because immediately to the north of you, the Tlinkali still roam, and they were still going out to hunt slaves. To the west, you have Rathajar and Safis's family, and to the east, Staunchflow, with the ritual going. So, with that, the night goes on, and you sleep whatever kind of sleep you have. We all know now, Bjorn, that you are uneasy, talking to your ancestor, Grim Tjurson, the founder of the Northern Kingdoms. What about the rest of you? Nongol? How is Nongol feeling after all of this action?
Nongol's uncomfortable. The little gnome has some dark secrets with him, and he doesn't seem overly happy working for his employee, but it seems to be that may be a means to an end. And he thinks he may have found more means to that end with this party, but now he has to do something he hasn't done before. He needs to fit in. He needs to be part of a party. He needs to, I don't know, swallow his pride. It's difficult for him. And he takes console with his not the party. He stays away from them, but he consoles himself with his little clockwork contraption that runs around and shoots little bursts of fire every now and then as Nibbles rocks around and picks up anything that looks even close to a pebble and crabs it into his bag of holding. As Kevin combs Nongol's hair upwards and outwards, of course, the way Nongol likes it. It looks like the companions that Nongol has right now aren't going to be enough going forward. So he's getting used to it.
Interesting. And what about Safis?
Safis is still upset and fairly overwhelmed, having just found Saladin again and just having heard about his sister, as well as hearing about who has his sister. He is pretty hardline set on what his plan is going to be in the coming days, and he's hoping he can get help to follow through with it.
and Oust.
I'm just enjoying the ride. Oust is probably. I think Oust is less worried about the current situation and more worried about the power that has now sort of been thrust upon him. I think he's very much just a case of he's enjoying being anywhere but within kind of the purview of the Empire or the Imperium at this point. So it's just kind of this is all like a extreme sports holiday for him at this point.
And Theus, what is he feeling as he is trying to get some rest upon this burnt vessel?
Well, he's currently thinking that he should get this girl far away as currently possible from this location. And at the same time, he's aware that the others who need help. So he will go with the current plan, but he's not really satisfied that Nongel proposed that they should leave the girl behind. This is what he's currently thinking.
All right, and as you all go to sleep, you're taking turns doing the watch in the night. Selden is also keeping an eye on the children you've saved. And you, as you're getting some much-needed rest. You can all take a long rest. As
Long
you-
rest. Perfect.
Yes.
Love it. I
Might
get
want to
all
get
points
some
back.
hit points back, yeah.
Oh, that's better.
All right, and as you are doing that, Saphis, the sun is beginning to shine in through the cracks in the hull, and it meets your eye just in time for you to hear and feel the vibrations of heavy footsteps in the hall outside of where you're sleeping. I guess Saphis has found some kind of crook somewhere where he could just be safe with only one entrance, so he won't be attacked from behind. Is that correct, or?
He probably found a little alcove in the cliffs that he could sleep in for the night.
You listen for a second more, and it is evident to you that this is the steps of Selden going down to wake you up. From the smell, he's carrying with him food. Nothing interesting. He's way too Spartan. Come with any interest. Food nonetheless. Do you do anything in preparation as you perceive this?
Saphis will go out to join him. He's probably chosen a nook that's far too small for Selden's massive draconic frame.
Good morning, Saphis.
It is.
He hands you like a crude bowl of what looks like porridge. Bunch of beetles is kind of like chopped in half and swims around in this porridge. Eat. You will require your strength. The days of travel that is to come.
Saphis missed you, Selden, but not your cooking, and he will just kind of very slowly take on enthusiastic bites of the incredibly plain food. Because
Come.
it's not good.
Come with me, he says as he turns around and begins to go up through the ship to the main deck.
All right. Saphis follows.
I should follow up Selden to the deck of this ship. Just make all the others invisible. He stands, takes you up here. Where you stand out, you can see The ship is gently being rocked back and forth by the stream of the river. The anchor kind of holding the ship in place where it is right now. Some of the children are up and they have gathered here and there. You see two of them down the side of the ship are have tied a string to a stick and are trying to fish. They are all traumatized of this situation. I think you were all going to free the parents up north. Is that not correct?
Savis thinks this is the plan, yes.
Then what? It seems like your friends would take the ship to Staunchflow. But your sister, she is not there.
Savis is aware of this.
Just looks at you. No real emotion.
Savis doesn't move to meet his gaze, kind of just still blankly staring out. Savis has ideas, his plans, but who doesn't? Seldon, if Savis was to go west, would you come with him?
You feel big, heavy, scaled hand on your shoulder as he says, "Where you fight, I fight, Savis."
Today is a good day, he says as he takes another bite of the awful porridge.
Yes. The sunset will come at some point. As always, as our nation shall rise again, depths of the desert, so shall hope come from this dark situation.
Yes. Savis just hopes he can convince others to come with him. To
That's
against
only-
the slaving guild, even if one of them is you.
Only one way to find out.
He kind of just nods again, and just spends the rest of the early morning finishing his porridge.
Your friends are not used to the conditions of the desert. Do you think they will? He points toward the big, kind of bowl of porridge he has standing somewhere, and do you think they will appreciate this, or do they want to eat their things?
Yes, Savis thinks Bjorn might appreciate it, but the others, they are a bit, and he kind of just rubs the end of his nose, stuck up in that regard.
Yes, I saw the Cathon. Is he not? Slave us all.
No, he
I
is
hope
not.
we can trust him, Saphis.
Saphis is more worried about this conventicle man. Otst, the elf, is at the very least good for his own people. That's something. Theus, I know. What is Theus again, actually? I forget. Nationality-wise.
Probably some from the Emirates. He
Alright.
is dark-skinned.
Okay.
Dark-skinned human.
So Theus, he's from the Emirates, but he has a heart of gold, if nothing else. It is this gnome that Saphis worries about. He seems intent on something, but either is unwilling or unlikely to share about it.
A heart of gold does not save anybody.
But the big axe his companion does follow. His big companion brings with him does. Not to mention some magics.
That might be so.
Yes.
But it is the conventicle is an interesting thing. They do protect us all, Cephis. The horrors that rests without. The minds of the alien gods that made the judgment and drowned our country in sands. They are not to be trusted.
Perhaps, Aldin, but not all of the conventicle is good.
Well, where power is, evil also arrives eventually.
Hmm.
I shall awaken your new companions.
Yes.
I will bring porridge, and we shall see who of them are really hungry.
Savies looks forward to seeing the look of disgust on half their faces. Uh, It's good to see you, Saladin.
It is good to see you as well. Yes.
Now Savies will fall quiet as he proceeds to again begrudgingly just eat this beetle porridge.
Selden goes around and wakes you up and gives you all some of this nasty ass oat and beetle porridge, a testament to the philosophy of a desert traveler. If you can eat it, it's good. So don't complain. Do any of you have any reaction or anything you want to say to Selden as he comes in, or do you guys just want to meet atop the main deck of the ship?
Oh, that's very strange. You brought food for my chicken. What about us?
Do you have any food yourself?
Well, I have rations, I suppose.
Well, if not, there is porridge. He puts down the porridge.
Oh my god, you eat that. You see his nibbles is like half done the bowl, chasing the beetles around.
They are not alive. They have been cooked. Like they are already dead.
Okay.
He says, "This is the Kala Sand Sea, not your fancy halls of the Tranquil Pillar. Eat, and we shall convene on the deck of the ship."
Very well.
Anyone else?
Are there any of the sort of freed slave, sort of free formerly slave people abound?
Yeah, a lot of like the guy who was beaten to a pulp is taking care of the children, and like the children have begun to be a little noisy as they have begun to be a little bored. So they have started playing around, doing things. They're basically waiting for where they are for what is going to happen. So
I will go towards the formerly beaten to shit guy and go up and goes, "You're doing fantastic work. You look starving. May perhaps please take this. I insist."
Oh,
just
that's mighty fine of you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
You're absolutely welcome. Absolutely welcome. Just got to keep your strength up, haven't you? So I'll leave you.
Well, I haven't had
to it.
anything to eat for days, so thank you very much.
Oh, there we go. There we go. See,
He just
absolutely.
gobbles down the the Odin beetle soup stew there. Yeah.
I've got to turn away and say, absolutely bloody disgusting. And then I'll just head up onto the top deck.
Probably should have fed them before we went to bed, eh? They're all starving, yeah.
Yeah, well, you're also out of rations, so if you haven't forgot, turn that. Theus and Bjorn, what about you guys?
I gather all the children, and Bjorn just went out of it. So, children, we will do something to lift up the mood. I'm teaching you the song of Bjorn now. I want you to all remember that in your darkest time. When you're out of hope, remember this song, so you will remember the one that saved you. So, everyone, please start clapping in the text that I'm doing for you, and then let's go. And then I will sing to them, and I will also sing it loud enough that the people on the top of the deck also hear it, just as my inspiring leader. So everyone for the group, and I would say, so when I saw him rage, do, now I'm a believer. When I saw his face with blood in his hair, oh, I'm in awe, ooh, I'm a believer. And I will start singing the song of Bjorn. So I will teach it to all the children.
What does Bjorn do as this is happening?
Björn, he is eating the porridge, and at some point during the song, he is trying to give Theus a bowl of porridge, like stop singing. You need your strength, Theus. It's all good with the singing, but sometimes it's also good just to have a bite to eat.
Sure. And he just, without any like saying anything after stopping singing, and make sure that the children can remember it, he will eat a bowl of porridge with Bjorn.
Which one is it that you talked to yesterday? I'm gesturing at the children.
You haven't seen her yet, actually.
I'm asking Theus.
She's somewhere. I think she seems to be quite a rascal and hiding somewhere, but she seems capable enough to at least look out for herself, even though I would rather like if I know where she is. Actually, let's look for her.
Okay. Bjørn is standing up and putting down the porridge and go straight to investigating or looking.
Looking for Vega. All right. Give her a perception check.
Perception. $19.
Roll a 19 on your perception. That's a really good roll there. You walk around a bit. She's not playing with the other kids. She's not doing anything else. But when you walk downstairs, you can hear like the small, like a low kind of sound of it sounds like something, some kind of wood cutting. Maybe you're not really sure.
I go look.
As you come in front of her, you see Vega like hunched over with not just a knife, but a straight up dagger, like a large large combat knife. She's like coming up sharpening a stick with it. She's like squatted over in like a dark alley, and you can see like her as you come closer, you can see her look towards you, and you can see like the cat eyes in front of you with the pupils all kind of expanded as she's looking in the dark. And she points the sharpened piece of wood towards you and says, "What are you doing here? What do you want?"
I'm looking for you.
Why?
There's porridge on the deck.
Oh, the shit with the beetle in it?
Could be beetles. I don't know. I didn't look that closely.
Yeah, I already ate. The Salton guy, he's okay. What about you? She like stands up and she goes towards you. This 8-year-old, very small tabaxi girl, like just looking up towards you, completely unintimidated by the bulk of Bjorn.
Well, I ate the beetle.
Well, sometimes you have to eat the beetles. Can't all be cake, right?
Cake? Well, cake and desserts are for women.
She looks like she squints her eyes. Why?
Too sweet for me. Well,
so it's not for you.
The only sweet thing I like is liquor.
Oh, you're one of those. All right. Well. So what? So you just drink? Is that it? And that makes you feel good, or?
Yeah.
All
of
right.
course.
So you just looks at you straight in the eyes. So, do you want anything?
Just looking out.
All right. She
I think
looks
you should
around.
maybe talk to Theus at some point. I'm
About
going
what?
to turn the ship around now. We're going to back to where you came from.
Why? Why would you?
Maybe
Why would you take the ship filled with children to the St. Cali settlement?
It's lost
so many
now, right?
questions. I think you should talk to Theus. Maybe he has answers.
All right, sure. She just kind of turns around and leaves to go upstairs.
I go look at her workstation.
All right, that's interesting. You see all of the small pieces of wood kind of on the shore from the sharpening of the blade, and you see a small copper wire, kind of been being stuck between two of the floorboards, and then like another piece of wood being like almost stabbed on top of that in between the floorboards, so it's just sticking out of that.
Do I understand what that contraption is?
No, it doesn't look like a contraption. Like it looks like it looks like she just had a small piece of copper that she for some reason stabbed through there. It might be her way of maybe roaming an insight. Let's see what Bjorn thinks about this. Wow, that's some insight. So the first roll you had there was an 8.
Oh, I've rolled.
You rolled
thrice.
You don't really.
Yeah, the first one is 8.
You don't really get anything concrete from it. You just look at it and you're like, well, that might just be a way of, coping with all this. She doesn't look like she's the most healthy, happy kid ever, right? She reminds you a bit about the young boys who go on their first raid and they come back and changed. Reminds you a bit about yourself.
Yeah, I know that. Well, I eventually follow her to the top of the deck.
All right. So you all convene at the deck, and before Bjorn arrives, Theus, you see Vega coming towards you. In one of her hands, she just has a big fucking dagger in it that she's not trying to hide in any way. She goes towards you and says, "So Bjorn says she wanted to talk to me."
Just so you know, as soon as I get you to a safer place, don't really walk around with a dagger. Like, the other children might be a little bit scared. I know it's dangerous currently, and I used to walk around with one too wherever I go. So let me just tell you, this is not something strange that you are currently doing. But if you want to get used to a little bit more of normality, then I would advise you to just less stabby, and let's try more like being a little bit more free, like the current child that you still are.
She looks at you and she says, a bit hushed. She says, "All right, Dad. I'll remember all my training and not go around with weapons out in a population center."
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah.
As she takes the dagger away, it is surprisingly hard to see when she puts it away in her gown. What's that all?
Actually, how are you feeling?
She looks you in the eye and she says, "You know how
I know, but I want to hear. It's important to express our emotions, communication. You know,
But you
it's
want
hard. I
to-
know because back then we didn't, but I know what the people say where we used to live.
Yeah, I guess it is important.
But you're not part of that anymore, so you're
No.
fine. Speak with people. It's okay. You want to hear what you're thinking. At least I want to. Anyways, it's a new day.
Oh.
So the current situation is that we will probably take you with us to kill some scorpions. Just keep a little bit back. I know that you're capable, and I trust that you can take care of yourself. But we want to keep you unhurt and alive, most importantly, so you can get you to a safer place. So when we get there, I'm not telling you to not do your thing, but do your thing in a way that I can see you. So you know.
All right.
All
I
right.
can do that.
I clap on her shoulders and push her to the rest of the. Let's go.
Can I ask you something?
What is it?
What are we going to do?
We are going to make sure that less people get hurt, and more people get to be happy. Like the people that we saved, that you saved.
Are we going to try and kick them in the ass as well? She says, looking at you.
There will be a lot of ass kicking, yes. But
She
in
nods.
due time.
All right. I'll look out for you.
I can take care of myself. Look out for yourself.
That's precisely what I would say.
Let's go. You're way too premature, you know that?
I'm 8. Like, what am I
that's too
supposed to?
premature. This is not something that children like you should be aware of. Like, this is not the attitude of a child, just so you know.
No, it's probably not.
Yeah, but it's okay.
Well,
because we will bring you to a place where it's okay to be yourself. Maybe with less stepping, but you know.
All right.
Let's go. And we'll go with her to the rest of the crew.
All right.
Party.
As you convene here in the. So you guys all meet on the top deck of the boat. You can kind of smell the burnt wood of the top deck as you're all looking at each other.
So, morning, everybody. What's the old plan then?
Yeah,
It is my understanding. Oh, I'm sorry, Sophis.
You can go.
It is my understanding that we will traverse this river. I will tie the gnome levitator to this ship, and we shall return from where we came at the spring of the river, where the slavers were holding up. I was hoping that we could get an outline of their camp, maybe with the help of this wise young girl, or maybe the man that was so brutally beaten. And hopefully we could have a great fight and slaughter these scorpion scum. And after that, I think we should discuss our next move, because on that front, I think we are divided.
Seems fair enough. Although, is it really worth us taking the entire ship all the way down to this camp? Could we stow it somewhere with at least the people mildly safe whilst we go in with the levitator? I'd imagine we don't want to make quite as much of a scene. At least not straight away.
Could we even turn the ship around in this canyon?
Good point.
It's not far away. We could just travel up the cliffs and then spy and then walk back when we're done. We don't need to take the ships any closer than they are now.
Sabis is in their agreement.
Before we discuss this too much, Ost, may I have a word with you in private, please?
Certainly. Talk amongst yourself, everybody. It won't be a moment. Mr. Nongle?
Ost, the ring that you may or may not have seen on my finger has the ability to block telepathic communications and mind reading and whatnot. It also has the ability to trap one's soul inside the ring when it dies, and that soul can then be communicated with. The mind flayer, the illithid that we slayed, has seemed to take a home, his soul inside the ring. I would like to try to speak with him, but I need someone strong enough to pull me away in case anything bad is happening, and also maybe someone that understands these arts a little bit more, and you and your sword tricks may be just the one to do that.
Well, I'll take your word for it. I'm happy to help. Yes, are we sure that he doesn't retain some vestige of his power? After all, I do assume that most of his power was derived from his own mind.
That is exactly why I would like you in attendance when I try to communicate with him. If he's chosen to stay within the ring, of course, he can always willingly leave.
Yeah, well, nice it's got an open door policy, I guess. Certainly, do you want to do this now, or once we're done talking?
Well, if you think this is a good idea, then perhaps we bring it up with the rest of the crew as well, and before we head off, we see if we can pull in information from this illithid before we enter his domain.
I would agree, and I must admit, I'm somewhat of a neophyte when it comes to the arcane arts, but perhaps we do it away from the people on the boat. Don't want to draw too much attention.
Yes, up and away, of course.
Exactly, so maybe once we leave the boat and travel.
Good.
North.
North, yes.
But no, I am in favour of that. Don't worry. I mean, obviously, if we need somebody slightly stronger than me, then we have the odd big fellow. But yes, we can certainly go for that.
Excellent.
Lovely.
And then just before he leaves, I'll cast a magic aura to put a mask on the sword again.
Sure.
I do. I've been doing this every day because I want to get up to 30 days, so I don't have to do it again.
That makes sense. All right. So you are casting the magic aura on the sword.
Yeah, and then when I get back up, I'll touch Bjorn and Austin, give them a aid for 20 max hit points.
Thank you very much.
All right.
So, sorry about that. Just having an in-depth conversation about cake. Lovely stuff. Can't get enough of it. Anyway, right. So, I think we're all agreed on the first half of the plan.
Noggle just shakes his head. Like, what?
It's lovely cake. Love cake.
That story doesn't ring true.
Never mind. So, upriver, smash them. I don't know, are they arachnids? Scorpion people, anyway. You know, in and out. Apparently with the child wonder over there. You know, the one with the fascination with knives and beating up grown men. Well, you know, there we go.
Do you have some kind of problem, man?
Children with knives creep me out. Young girl. So, there we go.
Well, adults who call me young girl creep me out, so.
Wow. Oh, spirited, this one. There we go. Right. First, if you could keep an eye on your charge before she finds herself in the river, that would be fantastic. Anyway, moving on for grown-up talk. Yes, upriver, stabby, slashy, killy, and then we will decide on further plans from there. Now, the point at hand. We have a boat full of people we can't turn around. What are we doing with the boat? Are we leaving it here, just in the middle of a river, like a big sort of free possible slaves here kind of thing? Or
I can take watch of the boat while you free the rest of the slaves up north.
Yes, if we unshackle the levitator and leave it here, or perhaps even we could take the levitator back and catch up with you. Sail the ship slowly but steadily along the river, and we'll meet you to the south in the next day.
Yes, I can do this with the man who the young girl almost killed. And Vega looks at you guys. And
Longo gives a sly wave, like, hi.
She looks at Theus and she says, all right, I can't believe I'm actually asking this, but do you want me to stay here and watch out for the kids as well, or do you want me to come and help free the rest of the slaves?
You don't really have to help us. Just I want to know where you are. So I would be much more relieved if I know where you are and I have you in my vision. So I would say that you should come with us.
Yes. All right. Perfect. Never mind then. Go on. Just
I really wanted her to come.
Right. So, 5 men and a baby up north, everybody else down south. Do we need anything before we go? Mr. Salden, are you perfectly happy here? Anything you need? I mean, we can't give you anything. We literally have nothing left, but, anything you need?
Bring food back with you, if possible.
Food, lovely. Sandwiches, cakes, the lot. Love cake. Yes,
I do not
certainly.
think that Cerenar will have cake at their disposal,
Well,
but sure.
I mean, we'll see. I know. So, right. Good. Do you have any way of alerting us to any possible dangers on your end? Should you need
I
to?
can set fire to the ship.
Excellent. Okay. Well, let's hope it doesn't come to that. Not twice in 2 days, anyway. There we go. So, well, I mean, this is a democracy. Apparently, not used to those. But are we all in favor of the current plan?
Slavis is in agreement.
Lovely.
Very well.
Mr. Bjorn, Mr. Fields?
I'm fine if we take her with us and we.
Yes,
get
I mean she's
back-
below voting age, so yes, she'll just count as yours. That's fine. But Bjorn, are you ready to well, slice some things up? The normal, the usual.
Indeed.
Excellent. Well, well, Mrs. Selden, we'll be taking our leave very shortly. But wish you all the best. I'm sure you don't need it. And we'll try to all come back.
I
in one
wish
piece.
you luck in your endeavor as well, nervous Hayel.
Yes, definitely. Very good. Yes. And I'll just begin walking off and getting my stuff ready.
Salden looks at you, Saphis, and he says, I will keep an eye on the children. Bring their parents back, please.
That is the intent, yes.
Can I
Very
just
well.
pull Oz to the side and just tell him, I'm Oz, do you need something like a public speaking coach?
Very good. No, I'm perfectly years of oratory training in the academies. No, absolutely fine. Thank you. If I need to, though, I'll be sure to call on you. Thank you.
Out of the corner of your eye, you just see Vega cleaning her fingernails with a dagger, and
Yes,
you seem to be the only one who notices this.
Good. God grief. Mr. Saphis, perhaps a quick word, if you wouldn't mind.
Please.
Yes, and I will just sort of bring him out of earshot as much as I can. Let's just go. So
Safi
just
thinks
to,
today is the day of bringing people aside for private conversations, it seems.
yes, well,
That is number 4.
just
But
so
yes.
we're perfectly clear, if the child goes down, we leave her. Is that correct?
Saphis raises his eyebrows in fair surprise. Well,
Right now, she's raising flags redder than a baboon's ass. That's all I'm saying.
Safis is keen to, at the very least, do what he can. Safis will stabilize her if nothing else, and Safis thinks Theus would. Yeah.
You have a passive perception of 25, so you saw her doing the knife thing. She's clearly trying to mess with Oust.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, if those knives get just even a little bit too close to us, I mean, do we need a code word, maybe? You know?
Safis thinks screaming she's trying to kill me is a good enough phrase.
Screaming she's trying to kill him. Perfectly good, perfectly serviceable. Yeah, sure, we'll go for that, yes.
Yes. But
okay,
Safis has spoken with her, and it seems less she is dangerous to us as she is...
creepy.
Yes, is a word.
Oh, God. Non-existent gods, I hate children. Okay, right.
Safis would like to remind you, Tabaxi are actually considered adults around her age. She's probably about a year, 14 or so.
She's 8.
Oh, she's 8? Never mind, I thought she was 14 for some reason. Just kidding.
Right,
Safis
she's creepily young, yeah, in that way.
Yes, but Safis thinks she should be able to do something, handle herself, and if she becomes a threat to the party, then I'm sure the party can handle her. The least of which yourself, Bjorn, and Nargol, Theos might have an issue with killing a child. Who knows?
Yes, well, you know, bridges and burning, you know the drill. Okay, well, fair enough. We'll carry on.
Yes. Don't worry, Safis will keep an eye out on her for you. And he kind of pats Ost on the back.
Good man. Good man. Good man.
Alright. Is there anything else anybody has to do?
I take myself to one side? No, no,
Give yourself a pep talk with your sword.
Yes. Look out. This girl's really creepy, but we'll get through this.
Alright. So, all of you... so, what is the plan? What do you do? You're going towards the St. Carly settlement, is that correct?
Yeah, so we'll let the ship sail off slowly to the south. We'll tie up the Gnomish levitator here, and then we'll climb the cliff and walk towards the settlement.
Approximately how far away are we from the settlement? Just in terms of on land.
2 hours walking.
Okay, maybe it might. Maybe it might be worth us just traveling with the levitator a little bit further north, just in case we need to make a slightly quicker escape.
Also, if you want to free the slaves, having a vehicle is better than making them walk through the desert.
The disembodied voice also does have a point.
Yes, very disembodied.
Yeah, we can scoot the levitator around the ship here, and we could take it up north if you'd like. Okay to sail today.
Excellent. Well, get old Captain Bjorn up to the helm, shall we?
All right.
I pilot
how it is.
the levitator.
I need to know your plan.
I pilot the levitator to a point where I recognize the area close to the camp. And before, so not to raise any suspicion, and from there we will walk to the camp, and using the outlay we have been told from whomever was in the camp from the boat, and also trying to convey with the young scary girl. I think we will talk about our from what vantage point we will be attacking.
Yeah, and as soon as the ship is, as soon as the levitator is out of sight of the other ship, that's when I'll pull everyone aside and tell them about the Illithid plan.
So what is the plan?
Talk to the Illithid, sail the ship up a little bit, send Safis to scout. I'd say about half an hour away from where we're supposed to be. Send Sophie up to scout, and then have him come back and let us know what's going on. Where's a safe part to park the levitator, and then go in on foot.
Sure.
That sound good, Sophie?
Safi's agrees with this plan, but what about talking to the elephant?
Well, yeah, once they're all gone, Nongo will pull everyone aside. Once the other ship's out of sight.
Well, yes, but did you... sorry, that was the player asking your player. Did you say that out loud and tell our party that you were going to talk to the elephant?
No, I told Ost. Ost thought it was an okay idea, so therefore I'm going to bring it forth to the party as soon as we roll forward.
Right, okay. Okay.
Sure, he was a formidable foe. I doubt that he will give us any information that is valuable. He will most surely hide it.
Safis would like to ask how you intend to talk to him. He is dead and gone.
The ring that I once had, it has the ability, upon death of the wearer, to trap the soul within the ring. He stole it from me in the middle of the battle, and unfortunately, his soul was trapped inside. I don't know if his body's still there, but it could be a risk, seeing that it was a very powerful illithid soul that's inside this ring. So I need you all to be on your top guard. If I start acting funny, break me away from the ring as quickly as possible.
And Safis would like to know if you intend to do this before I leave, or before Safis leaves, or after he leaves.
Before you leave, I would like you here, all of you, if you're all willing to agree with the plan. It could be dangerous, but we could also glean some information about this encampment that we're planning on approaching.
Sure, put it on your least favorite finger.
Valid point. You guys want to talk to an illithid?
Safis is willing to let you talk to it.
Let's do it. Alright, so as long as your soul is in the ring, you can telepathically communicate with any creature wearing it. A creature can't prevent this telepathic communication. Alright, so with the party around, hopefully, making sure that Nongle isn't going to all of a sudden become possessed or mind blast or something, he'll put the ring on his least favorite finger, his left pinky.
His left finger, alright. 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 As you put on the ring, it is icy cold to the touch. And you can feel the kind of entity inside. What you can just feel it. It feels like it's observing you.
Are you still there? Powerful creature of the Underdark?
Yes, that I am. And you? What brings you back here to my mind?
It's the ring you stole from my possession, and when you died, your soul was trapped inside the ring. Willingly, you may leave the ring. I can tell you how.
Well, why would I do it?
Why would you leave the ring? Well, I have your soul. Does that not bother you?
No, not really. Because you want to speak now. What is it I can do for you, Mr.
The encampment with the Tulankali. What could you tell us of that area?
I can tell you about the area, but what will I get in return?
What would one's soul disembodied wish?
If you think my soul alone, my mind alone, is just a disembodied husk of its former power, you'd be mistaken. Well, I want you to help me with a promise.
Please state your promise.
I still owe my life to Ascension.
Sorry, who?
Ascension.
Do I know who that is?
Did you mention anything of that, Cephas?
Not by name.
No. Give me a history check.
$25.
There's a big kind of trade association in Rath Hajar called the Henenu Trade Association. It deals in a lot of kind of exotic wares, especially to the east. But you know, it has also been under some criticism for Destin awesome business practices, including slavery. Before it was banned, they were very much into slavery.
So what does the slave trader want? What is this deal that you wish to negotiate?
I want you to hand this ring back to her.
One moment, I'll take the ring off, and then I'll look to the party. Apparently, she wants me to hand the ring back to her master, and his soul in it as well.
Safis is inclined to not do this?
The creature is asking for favors to give up any information. It doesn't seem to be threatened with inside the ring and doesn't care to be released from it as well.
Could you just say you will and just not do it? Is it binding?
This creature's quite powerful. If it's... I don't wish to entangle myself with it again.
Safis would like to remind the group that this is a soul of a slaving monster, a literal monster who is also a literal slaver. Safis is not inclined to provide any favors to it, least of which favors that may result in its becoming free and reanimated.
I think if any one of us doesn't favor this idea of making a pact with this creature, then I think we shouldn't consider doing it. So, Safis, I agree with you.
Yes.
I would also agree. Pacts seem like terrible ideas.
Yes.
Wouldn't dream of them.
Says the warlock.
Right. Snare drum intensifies.
So,
I think
You
it's
put the-
interesting. Maybe you should talk a bit more, Nuncle, to this creature in the ring and hear out where his master resides.
Safis is aware where his master resides, so that is not important.
Mr. Nongle, are you getting any feeling that maybe he may be invading your mind at all whilst you're speaking with him? We know this creature is powerful.
Can I make an insight check on that?
for what specifically do you think?
It's see if he's toying with me. See if he's
his thoughts.
trying to get into my
Where-
mind, or whatever the
Yeah.
case is.
Yeah, go ahead and do that. Go ahead and roll me an insight check.
It's a 16.
It's difficult because you can't see any clear red lights or red flags. But also with that kind of telepathic power, you're not sure that you necessarily would notice if they were going to fuck with your mind, right?
It's I don't notice anything on the surface, but it's quite possible the creature is.
I would counsel that we hang up then. Perhaps. If it seems like we're not going to get any concrete information without providing his soul to this slave mistress, then not.
Well, very well then. Nongle reaches into his breast pocket and pulls out this little spider clockwork contraption, hands him the ring, and then the spider climbs into Nongle's bag of holding and disappears.
Can you store more
Until
than just the
next
one
time,
ring?
Nongle, you hear fading away.
Well, it appears he can speak with me even though the ring's out on my finger. Well, he's better off in the bag of holding then, isn't he? Oh, that was...
Safis would like to make a great suggestion of never touching it again.
Yes. Also, did you tell him your name?
No.
Oh, he'd know anyway when he reads minds. Don't worry. No.
The question then becomes: Did he probe your mind for your name, or did he hear us just call you that just now, or back on the ship when we were talking openly?
I don't know if the answer to that question would get us any information. The fact is that he knows my name, and there's no point wondering why or how.
Perhaps
if we wind up asking him questions again, it is prudent to understand if he can simply read your mind while you are holding him, or if he can hear us talking. It is different set of precautions. Yes?
Yes, well, I'm sure in a different dimension being carried around on my back, he's not going to be bothering us. At least I hope so. Mr. Powerful Illithid, are you there?
After the clockwork thing has gone into the bag of holding, at least you don't seem to get an answer. So if that is because he chooses not to, or if because he can't, you don't know.
Well, he's not answering willingly, so I'll have to, yes. I'll have to take it at that.
Well, good chat. Anyway.
Yes, good chat. What to do with a soul? As Dongle drifts off into like this calculations kind of like flow by his head as he's like, what could I do with a soul?
Maybe a discussion for later.
All right. And after that, Sephish, you're going off to scout?
Yes, I'm sorry. Yes, Sephish is going up to scout.
All right. What you can see from this is... And I'll just let you all in on the same spot here. So that's what you can see before you're getting a bit too close, right?
Once we move over to the correct map.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh no. Right.
Alright. So again, theoretically, the Nomad Levitator is like still like a mile or so to the south, right?
Yeah, precisely. I can.
Okay.
Yeah, precisely. Right now, I just brought you in, right? So when you are flying around on the outside here, you can see a few people patrolling,
Before Cephas leaves, Cephas wonders, are any of you, he says, indicating the 3 magic users in the party, capable of making somebody invisible?
Of course I am. It's easy magic.
Let me rephrase that now and right this moment.
Oh, no, that spell's in my other book in my research station, unfortunately.
I have ability. I have some abilities.
Well, Safis is not asking out of curiosity. Would you like to turn him invisible so your scout is both invisible and be able
I
to
can
move
make
much
one of
faster?
us invisible. Like, do you want to go scout or shall I?
Safis would like to scout because Safis can fly quickly.
Well, I can also fly. I show him my broom.
No, Safis understands this, but Safis can move. No offense, Theus, but Safis can move much quicker than you.
Sophie's wait. Maybe it's not a bad idea, a terrible idea to go along with someone in case, well, something happens. I might slow you
the problem
down
is
a bit, but if you're both invisible, then it should be. And stay off the ground, of course.
Come on, Cephis, you and me. The kid and his the kid and his kitten.
Safis takes offense to this rather racist remark, but Safis agrees.
I agree with him. Vega says and points at the fist.
No.
You should really try to be more tolerant. She says to you, Theus.
But Theus, you can turn both yourself and Safis invisible.
Come on, shake my hand.
Safis offers out his clawed paw.
I have to think currently right now. Do I? No. I keep the pranks for next time, but I will keep. Actually, would you currently trust? Like, no, Oz hasn't said that I pranked him, right?
I mean, Safis has no immediate. Safis is aware that you pranked him because Safis is aware of anything that happens within like a mile radius of him. But that said, he probably isn't expecting anything at this moment.
Do I notice that he's currently not expecting anything?
I mean, you asked him to hold out his hand, and he's holding out his hand. He's probably just expecting you to turn him invisible.
Okay. How much does Theus currently want to prank him?
Your character.
I will. Let me just roll. Like, I will just roll to see if Theus would currently prank him. Okay, good. So, do we have any wristbands? Like any?
Cephis has bracelets and
Okay.
leather bracers. He actually has two very fine, kind of filigreed leather bracers.
Okay, good. I will touch his hand and with my right hand touch his right hand. I assume. With my left hand, I will touch his braces, and I will mumble some words, and will cast immovable object on the braces.
Immovable object. Huh. I mean, I don't know how that spell works. Do I get a save?
No, it's just the braces. I think.
Could you put it up, maybe, Theus, in the chat? So we can...
Yeah, touch an object that weighs no more than 10 pounds and cause it to be magically fixed in place. You and the creature you designate to cast a spell can move the object. You and the creatures you designate when you cast a spell can move the object normally. Also sets a password on it. The object is fixed in the air and can hold it to 4,000 pounds of weight.
So this must be PvP.
Yeah. I mean, normally these kind of spells only work on unworn objects. Unless stating otherwise. But
You touch
Doesn't
an
say-
object with a weight
An
no more
object
than 10
doesn't say
pounds.
unworn.
Yeah, fair enough.
Okay, I was saying, okay, Safis, you're now invisible. Let's go. I will go in my broom. I will fly up. Does Safis follow me?
I mean, like, he'll immediately realize he can't move his arm because it's immovable. So, Safis thinks you'll cast the wrong spell.
No, it's the right one. Come on, up.
Safis can very clearly tell he cannot move his arms.
Like,
These are
do
his
you have a
arms.
stiff? I think it's mostly like because you have a stiff arm.
Safis.
Come on, like, are you so weak that you can't even like fly up? Come on.
Theus.
Do you need a lift? Should I throw you?
Come on.
Safis thinks you will break his arm if you did. Theus, Safis can very clearly tell his arm is immobile due to the magic you have cast.
But you should
Safis
use
can
your
also-
shoes, not your arms.
Saphir,
Yes,
stop
use
mucking
your-
around and get on with it, please. We've got
Yeah,
stuff
come on,
to do.
it's the fist.
Saphis
Come on,
just
stop joking
Sa-
around.
Saphis dislocates his thumbs and slides his arms out of his bracers.
Wait, he can do
As they
that?
just yeah, he's done it on several occasions.
Oh,
All
shit.
right, beautiful.
And he
Okay, I
just
will drop the concentration.
relocates
Okay,
them.
I will drop it. Okay. It's not
Right.
fun. No, I can actually drop it. It's for 1 hour. So your bracelet is currently. Oh shit, your bracelet is
Well,
currently in the air
You
for
can
1
set
hour.
you can set a password for it though.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
So-
I didn't set a password.
All
I
right.
will drop it. I will drop it. The password was a ketchup.
Ketchup.
Okay. Catch up. Because I would like to note that these are my bracers of archery and are in fact.
Oh
magic
shit!
items.
Okay, then I will drop. Okay, okay now. That was just Okay, come on.
Yes.
Now I will
So,
do it.
yeah. So what Saphis does in response to this, as he slides them back on, he just briefly scowls at you, but with a smirk, a knowing smirk, and will click his heels together and begin to.
Okay, now
fly up
I
to-
will 3rd level invisibility cast now for real.
All right.
Wonderful.
Well, just so you know, what the spell I just cast, I immobilize your underwear, so you cannot currently move.
What?
Saphis would like to have a word with you later about the timing and appropriate amount of pranks. That said, Saphis thinks we should get going before your invisibility runs out.
Okay, let's go.
All right.
And
As you,
Saphis will take out, will just break out at his full speed.
Sure. So you leave Theus in the dust.
More or less.
How fast do his boots actually fly?
My movement speed, I believe, so 30, but I'm a rogue, so a move
90.
dash, bonus action dash.
Yeah, but my broom gets 50, so okay, I'm slower. But just by a bit,
you're-
by 10 feet.
Yeah,
Like, I
actually,
think the broom is 50.
No,
okay,
if
well,
the
if
room
it's
is 50, then you're equally fast, I guess.
yeah, then you're actually a little faster than me if the room is 50. I thought the room was
Yeah.
32, so yeah, never mind.
When we're flying, it's 50 feet. It has 5 feet of 50.
Yeah, so in that case, you are actually technically a little faster than me because you can move 50, then dash 50.
All right.
Alright.
Go ahead
Irregardless-
and give me a stealth with advantage, both of you, please.
That'll be a 32 from me, dog.
26 for me.
All right. So as you begin to fly up to the camp, you see a few. You can move around. I will pause the game if I want you to. But you see a few people like kind of doing their rounds outside. You see a guy kind of moving out on the cliff to the right, and they're just like kind of looking out. They look like bored guards, right? The same with this guy up here is basically just standing there patrolling, not doing anything. Inside here, you see a very large Kruthic kind of nibbling from a few people, dead people who are in front of an altar with a very big skull on it. Behind it, a large kind of Tinkali female sits a big rock throne. It seems like she's just chilling as blood from what looks like recent sacrifices are running down from the corpses around this big shrine kind of.
All right, well, Saphis having actually, hold on. With a passive, since I have the Eyes of the Eagle on right now, my passive perception is 30. Do I know
Yeah.
where Theus is?
I guess you do.
This-
With disadvantage though, because he's invisible, you would have 25. So actually, no.
Okay, fair. This is true. Yes. All right. So no, never mind then.
So what do you guys do? Do you just do a brief flyover, or do you want to go further in, or?
Well, Safis, not really knowing where Theus is, will simply, fly in this way, and will making a notable effort to stay probably like 100 feet above the camp.
Sure.
Will fly over and try to get like a good look at
You
this
have
altar.
you have to get quite a bit lower to get into the cave, right?
Oh, it's a cave. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
But it's not too low, right? So as you getting closer, what you see is that there's some kind of brazier with a few Tenkali around you. They don't seem to have noticed you.
right.
In there seems to be like a small den there, with some kind of green slime pulsing out of it.
Mhm.
And as you are kind of a denizen of the desert, you know that is definitely the entrance to a Kruthic den,
Okay.
which might be why there's so many bones laden around it. It seems like there's a lot of supplies put everywhere, a lot of food hung up to dry back there, and then you see like a makeshift prison in the back here with a lot of kind of adult people milling around in there, looking scared, just kind of being prisoners right now.
Okay. Um, so kind of still flying slightly below the ceiling, so as not to touch it and disturb anything on it.
Sure.
Um, two things. So, well, one thing really. Um, with the eyes of the eagle, I can make out, like extremely fine details, like out to a mile. Um,
Yeah.
so I just kind of want to note like how these people are looking. Um, if it looks like they're like fresh or they're being starved or like they've been mutilated in any way. Um, and then other than that, I would also like to take a look at like this skull and maybe try to identify if it's from a creature that Sufis would recognize or if
Hey.
it's carved from something or
All right. Give me two perception checks then. Oh,
Alright.
first a perception check and then I guess a nature check would be the
Sure.
most correct.
All right, so first the perception check with advantage because I have the goggles on. That is a 18 total.
All right. So with an 18, you look at the villagers and the nomads kind of in there. They look like they have been roughed up, and they look like they're probably a bit um, hungry, but not completely near death at all.
Okay. Okay. And then the nature check, which would just be a straight roll, is a 14.
All right, a nature roll of 14. The skull seems old to you. And you see a crystal kind of sticking out of its forehead. You don't recall seeing anything like this before.
Okay.
It might be, you don't know, like maybe a very big horned animal of some kind.
So this is unsure. All right. Does Theus want to do anything while Cephas thinks of more questions to ask Omnipotent God?
You already scouted where the prisoners are, right?
Yes.
Then I would probably I would also search for prisoners first, and
Yeah.
for any scouts, like any out of position, maybe like one that we can quietly take out, and then do it from there, like essentially that.
Okay. So yeah. So like I mean, there's these guards down here, but we'll talk about that more.
I'll move you up here, Theus, just so you can see the same.
Yeah. So are these like two spots we can see here, like entryways into this like area?
You see behind here, you see kind of more like a smooth wall with some kind of construction going on, but not right now. In behind here, it seems like it leads out to like a multitude of underground kind of pathways of some kind. It seems like these are people, or the Tsenkali are beings who usually live as hunter-gatherers and nomads. It looks like they are trying to clumsily kind of build some kind of settlement.
All right. Okay, so the last thing Cephas will do is he'll fly out of the cave and like up in the sky again to kind
Sure.
of go and look over here. Ooh, bit by bit because of the walls. Just kind of get an idea of what this outer cave area looks like.
Sure.
Okay, so it's just wall, yeah. So how tall like are these cliffs here along the right side of the river where there's like this bridge crossing over to them?
From the top of the water, there's around 40 feet.
Okay.
Oh, like from the water to the top of the cave arch, that's around 40 feet.
Okay. Yeah, that's all Cephas will have to that's all Cephas has to ask.
This plateau here is 30 feet up, right? So.
Okay. That's everything for me. So
Sure.
Cephas will start heading back.
Well, for me also, everything. I also head back.
All right, so you go back to the others. What do you tell them? Like, you can of course tell them what you saw, because the rest of you have been able to follow on the screen, I guess, right? Or at least somehow.
I mean, Cephas will give a detailed description of the layout of the location, the amount of creatures present, and their general positioning.
How many prisoners are there?
So he spotted 3. It is possible that there are more that were out of sight of the entryway.
Right.
Possibly.
So what's our best way in?
Cephas would be inclined to think. He kind of chuckles to himself. Cephas would normally suggest that we move quietly and attempt to eradicate the 2 or 3 creatures on the guard duty along the southern end of the outpost, and then move in from there and see how things go. But Cephas also has the idea that perhaps just ram the gnomish levitator directly into their camp and see how it goes. Sounds like a Bjorn plan.
It's very hard to make people not stream in my presence. I agree.
How many of the creatures did you see there? Is it wise to have just the
3,
6
4,
of us?
5. Well, this is the part where Cephas thinks taking them out slowly and methodically is best. Cephas thinks if we were to start at this outcropping, this tower here, we could deal with these 2 guards quickly and hopefully quietly enough. And then from there, push into this ritual room, where we could, at the very least, hold them off through this choke point, if they were to come over to us.
Perhaps a bit of both, then. Perhaps we use our, pointing to Cephas and Fierce, our airborne compatriots to fly in as stealthily as possible, take out the 2 on the tower, until we know that it's clear. And then, once we know it's clear, all swords blazing. And if it doesn't go to plan, then we still charge in.
So thinks this is a fine plan. What do the rest of you think?
As long as I'm out of the way of combat and I can attack from afar.
Not
Do either of
knowing
you have a
your-
way of communicating at distance?
I can scream.
Cephas has a whistle.
that would do. So we'll go on your whistle. Park just outside and keep the engine running. And
Sails filled.
yes, the
So,
levitator
wait.
levitating.
You're going to barge in on the levitator, like basically driving a car through the front door.
No, I think so as I understand it, the plan is to send Theus and Cephis in again, but with the Gnomish Levitator much closer,
Sure.
to deal with these two on the like kind of outcropping, hopefully quickly and quietly, and then signal for the Levitator to approach unseen, and then we go from there.
Yep.
Sure, that sounds fun.
I love that plan.
Cephis would like to ask Theus if he thinks this is a good enough plan.
I think I have some magic that could help us. Like we are so, I assume we talked long enough that invisibility ended. It's like,
Yeah, and it was a
well,
fair
no, it's
thing.
1 hour. Like it's 1 hour. Like have we talked for 1 hour?
Well,
Give
we also
me,
flew there, looked
me
around,
a-
flew back. So.
Give me a d20 roll, Theus. If you roll higher than a 13, you have enough time to get back there. Well, you rolled a 16, so you have enough magic.
Okay, we are still invisible. So you all talk currently with some invisible, like a disembodied voice. Okay. I don't know where you are.
Then.
I'm currently waving to you, Safis. I know you can see me, but
Correct.
I have a signal. Like I as soon we go up there, I agree with that, and I will give you a signal. I think I can give us a preemptive strike.
All right.
So one last thing.
Yes.
We're not talking to these people, are we? This is full no quarter.
No quarter. We're
So-
killing them all.
Mm-hmm.
No asking nicely. No
I mean, we'll let them
paralysis and a chat.
we'll let them surrender.
Really?
Cephis does not think they will surrender.
Yeah.
I don't think they'd do the same to us. Well, they might do, but they'd just take us captive.
As you
Sep-
say this, Oust, you hear a slight thump in your briefcase or whatever it is you call it, like your map scroll case. That's it.
Okay.
Cephis' ears
Sorry,
perk
everybody. One moment. Whilst after I joked earlier, I will take myself to one side and just kind of unscrew the
Right on.
unscrew the little scroll case and just kind of take a look. I'm not being massively stealthy about it at this point. I'm kind of fairly blasé just because of the company I'm keeping. But
You see a small note in your own hand saying, "An entity. I feel it. I hunger for it."
right, yes, pretty hungry too. Missed breakfast. Okay, right. Good job. And I will kind of just sort of tear it up and sort of just throw it in the water next to me. It's like, good entity, hungry, lovely. Right. Sorry about that, folks. Just had to take a message, I guess. Anyway, so no quarter. Wait for the whistle, then stabby.
All right. And with those beautiful words of leadership, Theus and Cephis, you
Okay.
fly up.
I will first before. Oh no. I knew that we were going into this fight, right?
Yeah.
Then I would have cast it before I went invisible. Actually, give alacrity on me.
Sure.
Sorry, I'm going to
So-
cast Armor of Agathis now as well.
Sure, you can do that. You can all cast your spells if you have any.
I want to position myself behind them, like on the cliff behind them.
You can move yourself where you want to be.
I can't. It says it's like I'm trying to get on a wall. Like, can I fly? Can I?
Can we fly higher?
Yeah, like here, somewhere there. Like, is it an open cave?
Yeah, no, it's not a cave. That is kind of an old, kind of derelict tower. You can fly in from the top. It's not roofed.
Okay, but it's open, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to measure. Okay, good. So I would position myself. They would be surprised as soon as I cast spell, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we all roll initiative first because we have a surprise. Essentially, they are surprised first round.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, good.
Did you bring Vega with you?
Vega, yes, but not like invisible on me.
All right, sure.
So in
She's still on
combat.
the Gnomish Levitator.
Sure.
So I would first of all just want to know if I would act first or Sophie's would act first because this would be first round of combat.
Both of you.
But before that, just Safis would like to know what you exactly plan to do, so Safis can plan accordingly.
Okay. I will push them down the cliff there into the arms of our little party with some trick that I know.
Alright.
So as soon as I see them moving the levitator towards the cliff, like along, we told them that they're moving along the cliff, right?
Yeah, but they're waiting for a signal from us to get closer.
Okay. They will know the signal as soon as I do this.
Yeah, the signal is the fucking Twinkali falling down the cliff.
Yes.
Fair enough.
So
in that case, yes, Cephas will, irregardless of when he goes in initiative, will hold his action to attack after he sees whatever Theus plans on doing.
it might be important because if you hold your action, you can only attack once. If you just move after me, you could attack twice. This is why I want to know if we are initiative first, so I can see you might be able to attack twice.
Right, but well, let's roll initiative then and see what happens.
Yeah.
I guess.
Roll initiative, both of you. Do you remember how to do
Yeah,
it?
we have to. There's no combat counter scene, so.
Oh yeah, I
can't.
will.
Okay, good.
There we go.
There you go.
I will also add a 1d8 for mine, so you can add a 6 to mine.
All right, so you are at 21.
Okay, good.
You were going
So I'm
much
first, so Safis can actually go for full attack. And the first thing I will cast is Pulse Wave, 30 feet cone towards them. Where can I do it in such a way that hit both?
Yeah, if you stand over like by where Cephas is, you could
I
definitely.
can't see because like the wall is in between me. I just want to stand in such a way that I hit both. Is it possible? Like here, like I can't see in because there's a wall. Can you just remove the wall so I can?
Well,
I think you have to get real close and do like that. But there is a wall that you can't, pulse through anyway, right?
Yeah, but can I hit both of them with the pulse wave?
If you stand right there, this way, you hit both of them.
Okay, then I will do this. They're surprised.
They are very surprised. So, let's see.
They will be pushed 15 feet away from me if they fail a DC 70 cons.
Both of them fail.
Oh!
So they both take the damage and are like they crash through this kind of wooden palisade and just tumble down the cliff.
Okay, this is a signal.
Yeah. What do you do, Cephas?
Well,
wait a second. Both actions. First of all, on Cephas, I will also inspire Cephas and say, "Have to have high roads for my singing, shooting for the guy so you can make a killing. Didn't have a plan, but I always had a vision. Have to have high roads."
Beautiful.
All right, sounds good.
Fantastic.
All right. When it is Cephas' turn, he will attack.
The rest of you can go ahead and roll your initiative. Cephas, go ahead and attack. You're just attacking the one closest to you.
Yeah. So like flying up in the
For
air.
some reason, it doesn't subtract my bike inspiration. 8 seconds.
It's probably the new active effect thing, so you have to go in with better rolls and put it on.
So he gets. We're over here now.
Oh, that was my mistake. I hadn't deselected you. Go ahead.
Right.
Yeah.
So did I have advantage on this because I was still hidden from the creature?
Don't you have advantage on the first round anyways?
Yes, you have advantage. Also because you're invisible, so.
Well, we're not invisible anymore, and I don't.
Yes, you are, because you haven't attacked. and you are still invisible because you rolled high on the luck
Oh,
roll.
right, because he didn't drop a concentration spell.
Yes.
Right, okay. I thought, right. Well, irregardless, then in that case, I get a natural 20 for a
Oh,
total
man.
of 31. And that means a grand total of... I don't actually know how much damage that's. 13, 30, 52 damage to this guy.
52? Are you sure?
What?
Did they also take 4 damage? Just a question. Did they also take 4 damage?
Technically, they're falling now.
They're
Right.
falling now, yeah. They will land on their turn. So this guy is almost dead.
He's
All
dead
right.
before he hit the ground.
All right.
And then Cephas will... yeah, so that's the attack he did on his turn. And then
Sure.
he will move over here and bonus action hide.
All right, give me a stealth roll.
All right. Still. There it is. Terrible. 14.
As you,
Two natural ones.
as you kind of
Still 14.
as your bow twangs from the arrow, you kind of I almost think that you're on roller skates and you're kind of wing boots as you try to get behind the wall. But on your way, you kind of turn over a kind of a few rocks, and then you see the Tenkali over here looks at you and like starts twirling his chain around him and begin to yell in this weird scorpion-like language. And you can just hear how he's sounding the alarm as we speak.
All right, noted.
Right now, like, is he still surprised?
This guy up here is will sound the alarm when it is
When
his
it's
turn,
turn,
next
right?
turn.
Okay,
Yes.
good. Okay, good to know.
All right. Aus, do you do anything as these things are falling? I'm just going to.
Sure. How far out are we at this point from?
You are right here.
Okay, cool. So I am within 120 feet of that guy that's just seen them over here. Technically, just. I think I'm at the very limit of it. I'm at 105 feet. So I'm going to Eldritch Blast him as soon as I see him turn around.
Sure.
Also, just for note, obviously, whereas normal armor of Agathis, there we
Sure.
go, is ice. This ice has like a greenish hue as it kind of crystallizes over my breastplate and my armor. And I will kind of turn around to Bjorn, who's helming the ship, and goes, "Time to regain some honor." And I will turn around, point my sword out, and then blast the Trinkai with 2 beams of Eldritch Blast. First one, that's the first beam, and then the second beam is that. So that's first beam is a 26 to hit, second is a 24.
Both of those hit.
Yes. Okie dokie. So the
Dang, you
first.
crit on that second one. Oh no, just kidding.
No, I didn't know.
Never mind.
So that
I
is
always forget to roll twice, yeah.
18 damage total.
That's the 2 dark green beams of energy.
Aren't
fizz
they
out. You hit
surprised?
him
Just a
twice.
question. If they're surprised, then
Yes.
don't all attacks have advantage?
Yes, that's correct. So you but I did also take the crit damage.
Okay.
As you kind of
Okay.
get him in the face, you see how he falters and kind of starts to get his bearings, surprising him further. He's not. He was not expecting to get hit in the head by an Eldritch Blast as
Cool.
after he saw Cephas. Yeah.
Yeah, and I will make sure I'm stood sort of at the very as far forward on the levitator as I can, ready to kind of literally
Sure.
leap into action. And that is my go.
Perfect. Vega, she
Creepy
kind of looks at this situation. She takes out from her boot. She takes a very small hand crossbow. What is a light crossbow? Yeah, and she that is within her sharpshooting range. She takes an arrow up from an unseen quiver, and you see how the arrowheads are kind of dark and brimming with this kind of acid thing as the same kind of arrows that the assassin you met yesterday had. As she shoots to attack this guy, and she hits him with a crit. So I will just make a con save for this guy.
I just want to say we've literally all crit so far.
Yeah.
Jesus, yeah.
He does make the con save though. So only takes. Oh no, he's immune to poison damage, isn't he? No, he isn't. All right, sure. So takes half the poison damage, but all of this damage as she in a trained manner just sent the bolt flying and then hides behind a few kind of sails and pieces of cloth on the ship. All right, that was Vega's turn. Nongle, what do you do?
Oh, I see the weakened one.
Oh wait, I forgot to roll sneak attack damage. Wait a minute. For her. 8. Yeah, this guy up here is just straight up dead as Vega's bolt hits him straight in
That's my girl.
in the face. Gets he's gone. He's not going to get up again.
That's my child soldier.
Yes, that's not terrifying at all. All right, Nongo,
no.
go ahead.
All right, I'll attack the one that's near death. The one.
All right, sure.
So which one died? The one that was up on the.
The guy who was going to do alarm things. So you have a chance actually to alpha strike these things. All right, you hit, and 8 hit points is his exact hit point total as he as this Tenkadi kind of drops towards the ground, trying to grab onto the cliff face behind it. You just hit it straight on in the chest with a fireball, and you see how it gets limp before it hits the water.
I'll run over here. Bjorn, you see that? You see what I did?
Bjorn, you can also decide to pilot the levitator. It has a speed of 40. As a bonus action,
if it's
by the
my
way.
turn.
Yeah. Yes, it is. If you're
great.
done, Nungle.
Yeah, that's my turn.
This is the point where Fortunate Son kicks in, as we're just going down just beaming down a river, just taking people out. Carry on.
Flashbacks, guys, flashbacks.
Places, everyone, places.
Put sunglasses on.
So there's one unconscious and one still breathing from the initial attack.
This guy is just falling down the cliff. He's not looking too bad. He is injured, but not too bad.
Okay, then I would like to use my bonus action not to rage, but instead pilot the levitator towards him.
So you want to ram him with the levitator?
No, I think I'm gonna throw myself from the levitator when I'm close enough and ram him with myself.
So wait, so you kind of Tokyo drift this thing to bring it to a stop? Kind of here? Is that what you wanted to do?
Yeah, that's perfect.
All right, perfect. I'm just going to get you guys back to where you were on the ship. And Bjorn, as you do that, what do you do?
Instead of rage, I'm just gonna use my reckless attacks.
Sure.
I jump from the ship and chop him into pieces with my axe.
Give me 2 attack rolls then with advantage. You don't have
That's
the holy weapon, but yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't know how to move it.
That's fine. All right. 2 of your great axe attacks just you chop off a leg, and another one goes deep into his carapace as he I'm just rolling falling damage for him as he splashes down into the river, barely alive, and you fall on top of him. You're now both in the river, kind of in at the same spot.
Perfect.
And with that surprise round, I think we will take a break until 10 minutes passed, and then we will conclude this combat and see what happens to all of you guys. So all of you watching out there, we will be back in 17 minutes. That will be 7:10 Central European time. So I'm looking forward to see all of you then, and to my lovely ding dongs here. Go get some food and stock up on your
what, 30
whatever
or
energy
20?
drinks, whatever you have.
What
10
was that?
past. 10 past.
10
So
past.
in 17 minutes.
All right.
All right.